So I'm so glad that I already have a couple of subscribers. Please keep in mind I am new to this, so I promise as I progress I will get better with my videos and editing, and I promise just bear with me. But thank you so much for those of you who have already subscribed. And today we will be doing this makeup look, which has a couple of pops of blue, and it's great for fall if you want to make your eyes pop out for date night, girls night, whatever the case is. This is a great style, especially for the season that we're in, so I hope you guys enjoy. Alright, so first I'm going to start off with a primer. This is by Merle Norman, and this is their foundation primer. I don't have any real blemishes right now, so I really don't require much. So I'm just going to put it on the back of this. You can use your hands, but I'm using a brush today. And I literally have zero makeup on, so no judging. This is starting off with a clean slate for me. So we have our primer on, then we're going to go through with the Merle Norman Lasting Foundation. And this is in shade Creamy Beige. I like it because it will last all day for me. And I'm just going to put it on the tip of this brush. This is actually by NYX, but I like that you can put the foundation on the tip of it, and it does spread really nicely, and I can see the coverage that I'm getting. Alright, so I have it on the tip. And I always say to do the eyes first, but I do like to get some coverage on my face and at the on my eyelids as well. That way I know everything blends in. Alright, and always fan it down. Perfect. So I always kind of wait till after I do the eyes to do my concealer. That way, again, if there's any fallout, then at least we know that we can clean it back up. So I'm going to start off with a little bit of eyeshadow primer. Again, every product that I'm using today is by Merle Norman as far as the product line. I am going to take a little bit, and I'm going to use my finger for this. A little bit does go a long way. I'm just going to take my finger and just dab it over the top. Alright. So one of my favorite tones, as I discussed in my Facebook Live video, is the green tones, the olive tones for fall. But I also like the warmth. When we see the leaves changing, we see a lot of browns, a lot of goldens, so let's not stray away from that too much. So today I'll be doing a more of a brown gold hue, and we're going to do a pop of a, it's called Ocean Blue, but it's a pop of a teal. That way we're going to really make our eyes pop today. We're going to put in a little bit more effort because I have a little bit more time. So the colors that I'm using are Cola. So this is going to have a little bit more of a bronzy brown kind of look. And then this is Cocoa Cashmere. So it's going to be a little bit more of that grayish neutral tone to kind of offset it a little bit. And then for our base color, we're going to use Almond. And all of these are really good eyeshadows. You can kind of load them on. They don't go on really pigmented at first. So I like that because I feel like I can add to and not have to take away from. So we're just gonna go through. Just do both of them really lightly, with this color being more of a neutral tone and closer, for the most part, to everyone's skin tone. I really just try to get it on as a base color as opposed to an actual color that we're trying to blend. So now I'm going to go in with the Cocoa Cashmere. Again, that's more of our neutrally tone. You can see it has a little bit of that shimmer to it. Not glitter, but it does have more of an iridescent kind of feel to it. So with this eye, I'm just going to hold my eye just a little taut. And I'm going to go right on that crease line, not going too high, but just following the shape, actually of my eyeball, but just following the shape, almost like a windshield wiper, just going back and forth. With this color, you're not going to do too much. Again, I'm going to follow this through, doing the same thing with this eye. Alright. So now we're going to take our Cola color, which is a little bit more of a matte finish. And we're going to go back in through the corner. And we're going to bring it up a little bit more. And we're going to come a little bit more in. This time we're going to, I always say to keep inside here a little bit lighter, but today we're going to make it pop a little bit more. We're going to do something a little different. So, again, almost like a windshield wiper, going back and forth. You can always blend these out. Alright, so you see that I have the almond, I have a little bit of that neutral tone, and then I have the warmth going a little bit more of my eyelid or to my crease, and then in through the middle. Then we're going to take our brush, and I always prefer a brush over a sponge because I feel like I have a little bit more control over it, and you can blend it out a lot better. So we're going to take, I'm going to start with this eye, and I'm just going to go real lightly in through the center, keeping in mind that I'm leaving this all more of that neutral tone. Alright. Now, Merle Norman made this really cool little packaging, and it has this gold, very pigmented, shimmery tone, and I love it. So we're going to use a little bit of that today. I'm going to go in with a little bit more of a golden base eyeshadow first. And just lightly dab over that almond area that we kind of left a little light. Alright, so although this comes with a really, really nice, easy brush, what I'm going to do is use a little bit of a concealer brush for this. And I'm going to mix it with a little bit of my primer. That way I know it'll stick. Not that this product has a lot of fallout, but I don't want to risk anything. You can just shake it. Let's see if this goes on better. So we're just going to hold it. Actually, it worked better with the brush I put it on. Okay, so we're just going to dab it in through the center. Only keeping it towards the center. Now with my lashes, some people prefer to do their lashes first, then they want to do their eyeliner or their fake eyelashes first, then their mascara. The order that I like is I do a little coat of mascara first, then I go through and do everything else. That way I know that my lashes adhere to the false lashes. So this mascara is Wicked Lash Mascara by, again, Merle Norman. We're just going to take a little bit. We don't need a whole lot just because we're putting a lash on. My lashes are super blonde, so they're almost invisible. So I need something on there just more for pigment, but again, to make sure that they all blend together. Perfect. Having a good lash day, guys. I'm gonna wait to do the bottom lashes until I'm done on my eye, but I will do my lashes. I love, love, love the Ardell Lashes in Wispy. I'm a fan of the Ardell Lashes anyway. They came out with a new faux mink lash that I love, but Wispies, I'll show you if I can grab it, tend to be my favorite. They have a fan out effect, and they I always get compliments on my lashes, but I like the band on them. I like how skinny they are. I like that I can just gently pull back some of the glue from the day before and reuse them. So what I will do is put some of the glue on. I know a lot of people have been asking me how to go about doing lashes, so I will attempt to show you guys on here. So what you'll do, this is the Ardell Lash grip. You can use the Duo, whatever glue you prefer. Some of the glues have a brush on the end, that way it's a little bit more controlled. I will leave it up to you. What I do is just very lightly, with the lash not being right in front of it, just very gently push. You get a little bit of a bubble coming out, and we're just gonna lightly go over our lash line. And the trick is to fan it out. You can go ahead and work on the second one, but if you are new at this and you want to take your time and not have the second one dry in the meantime, just do one at a time. That way you don't feel rushed with the glue drying on the other lash. And these lashes are probably on their last leg, so I'll have to get new ones. And they're super cheap too. It's not like they're like horribly expensive, so they're definitely affordable. So what we'll do, and I always emphasize this, measure out your eye before you put the lashes on. Some people just get the lash and assume it's the same size as their eye length, and it's not. So before you put the glue on, make sure you measure, holding it against there with your other eye. Measure out and see exactly how long you need to have your lash, snip it, then go ahead with putting on the glue and the whole process. So we'll just hold it back and going right on that lash line. Almost, I know a lot of people have like the, like you can use like the tweezers if you want to apply it down. I like using my hands. I'm used to it at this point. So almost just place it down, placing that glue area on the lash line first. And I always end up, for the most part, starting with the end first, then working my way in. And then you can either take, most of the time if you have like an applicator, you can take that and I'll show you guys. and you can just take it and push it down. If you want to use your fingers, that's just as well. That way you're pushing it into that lash line as opposed to it sitting on top of your eyelid. So we're going to do the same for this lash. We're just going to set it right on top. And I always use the clear gel or the clear glue because although it might seem a little white on this side, it does dry clear. And if you do have to readjust it, at least you know that it's clear and not black and gonna be all over. All right, perfect. So one of the other things that I always like to do is in through my eyes, because I do have a baby and he is a nut job, is I like to make sure that I look like I'm awake and my eyes are open and I'm not dreary. So one of the really cool things you can do, and this is a Soft Touch Eye Pencil by Merle Norman, and it has the obviously the pigmented color on one side, and then you can have a buffer on the other side. So with this, I'm just gonna go in through my waterline. And this is gonna make the eyes appear bigger, and they're open, and they're bright, and you're awake, and no one has to know what size coffee you ordered at Dunkin' Donuts. You're good to go. All right, Mama Bears. So now we're gonna go in with another eyebrow pencil now that we have our lashes on. This is such a cool product because, again, you have the buffer side, and then you have the pigmented side. So this is, again, Merle Norman Soft Touch Eye Pencil. This is in color Ocean Blue. So it is definitely very blue, a little shimmery, but you know what? It's different, and gold and blue and brown look really good together. So what we'll do is, let's go a little bit above the eye lash line first. This line will be a little thicker. I love this color. And we're just gonna fan it out a little bit more. It's definitely gonna be thicker. We're gonna do the same for this eye. Look at that color, guys. Talk about an eye pop. Look at that. Love it. So now we're gonna go in with the Pro Pencil Eyeliner. And this is in color Sharp Brown. I'm sticking with the brown theme. You can do black, but I like everything coordinating. So for this one, we're gonna follow right over our lash line closer to the lash, keeping it skinny. But that way we kind of go over that seam with our false lashes. And we're gonna follow through. I'll show you better with this eye with the curvature of the line that we pulled up. So if you're able to see that. Do a little bit more on this side. Perfect. Now I'm going to take a little bit of my mascara from before and just lightly go on the base. Not going up into the lashes because we want to keep them as long as possible as far as longevity. Now I'm going to go back through with my Cola eyeshadow, and I'm going to take a angled brush. It's pretty skinny. You're going to go through just underneath your lashes. And we're going to pull it in towards the center. Not too far in, because then what I'm going to do is get back in with our ocean blue. And just very lightly, very gently. Still going underneath that line. Meshing it in. And then with our little bit of gold left, right in through the center. And that way we have that little bit of brightness in towards the center of our eyes. So now that we have completed that part of the eyes, we are not done with the eyebrows. I did not forget. But we're going to use a little bit of concealer underneath. I didn't have a lot of fall, which is great, but I need to conceal underneath my eyes. So this is the Dual Action Concealer, and this is in tone medium light neutral. So what I'm going to do is use my concealer brush for this. And I like that it glides on and it's really easy to apply. What you could even do if you use like a touch lighter is bring it down and kind of make it into your highlighter. Right, so you can either use a brush or a sponge. I like a sponge because I feel like it pushes that product in there and you really get a good blend. Okay, so we have it all cleaned up right underneath the eyes, and then just to finish off the eyes, I'm just going to go in with a little bit of the mascara. All right, so you can use either a contouring palette or you can use, I like to use a powder base for everything. Every time I use a liquid, I like to follow through with a powder. That way I know that I'm getting all the coverage and it does last throughout the day. Because some of us, especially after having a baby, for me, my skin is just not the same, and where I used to be able to get away with just doing a powder or just a liquid, I'm not able to anymore. So I get my full coverage from my liquid and follow through with the powder just to help set it. So this is the Ultra Powder Foundation in Ultra Neutral, again by Merle Norman. All right, now I'm going to go in I'm gonna contour. I'm gonna contour with, this is it's definitely very dark, but it's more of a warm color. It's Nutmeg. So obviously when you think Nutmeg, you think more warmth. And I'm gonna go through, this is actually an Ulta blush brush, but I like how thin it is and how skinny it is. Merle Norman also makes, actually I'll use this one. It actually makes a brush. I don't see the number on this one. I think it's a little worn, but it also is more of a chisel kind of look. So I'll actually use this one today. And just lightly dab it off. I like using warm colors when I'm contouring because if you use too much, it'll look muddy. And we're just gonna blend it up into the forehead. And now I'm going to take my big powder brush. There's a little bit more of that powder that's left over. Now for my blush, because I'm playing with the eyes, I definitely don't want to play up as much on my cheeks. So I'm using, it's their Purely Mineral Cheek Come Heather. So it's a very pretty, it almost looks like a plummy tone, but it is very muted. So I'm going to use, this time I'm going to use this Ulta brush, and I'm just going to lightly go in through the apples of my cheek, just very lightly working my way into where the contour is, but not too much above it. Now we're going to go and highlight, and this is actually with the Morphe. You can tell how much I used it. I actually dropped it, but this is with the Morphe palette. It is their highlighting palette. I like the pink tones. I like a little bit of the gold tones. Some are a little bit more neutral. So still sticking with keeping it a little bit more neutral, I'm going to go in with the tone right here. It'll give me a little bit of those pink hues without being too much. So we're just going to follow up on either side. And I love that you don't need like a whole lot of this to achieve the look that you're going for. Now I'm going to go in with the lighter tone in through here. You can barely see it. And I'm using their brush Y14. So I'm just going to go in through my nose a little bit and above my lip. Perfect. Now for the brows, I love their product. I love their brush and I love the products. So with the products, there is a natural brow wax for those of you who do not have brows that I love the brow wax for those of you who have brows that are just a little bit all over the place and you need to control them a little bit. Some of you use a brow gel, that's great. I like this just because I have a little bit more control over it because it is coming in a pod like this. You can control it. So I'm just going to lightly go in. And the color does adhere to it a little bit better when you use a wax to start off with. And mine are so light that not having my brows done, I feel like I'm naked. Now I'm going to go in with a light brown. For me being blonde, I like using a light brown. Sometimes it might look a little gray in the container when you go to buy it, but don't be discouraged. It actually makes it look more natural. So I'm going to go in with the same angle tip, and I'm just going to follow my line. I like a powder because it makes it look a lot softer of a finish as opposed to a pencil where you have to use the tip of a brush to kind of fan it out. if you have to tame them and loosen them up, just use the back of this brush and just form it to the way, brush it the way you want it to go. Now to complete the style, I will finish it off with the Expert Finishing Spray. It smells amazing and it does last all day. So I'm gonna hold it away, spray it a couple times. It does have a dewy finish at first, but don't be discouraged. It does dry very nicely and you will not have to do anything to your face for the rest of the day. Now to complete for the lip part, you can either choose to do more of a neutral because we are playing up the eyes. You don't have to do both, but I am choosing to play up both. So this color is the Dual Pencil Plus, and that is again by Merle Norman. What I love about this is it has your liner on the one side, which tends to be a little bit darker, a little bit more pigmented, and then you have your lip color on the other side, which sometimes is a little bit more shimmery. Both glide on really nicely, so this color I like because it's a little bit more of that brown tone, and I love brown tones in the fall. So I'm going to go ahead and line it. I brought my liner in a little bit more just because I want more of that brown tone. We're going to follow through with the lip color. Alright guys, well that is our completed style for today. I hope you like it, and please feel free to subscribe, and I hope you guys have a good